As you already know by now, your progress on the guitar is not linear. And right now, you're right about here, right in that stinking intermediate rut where you can learn a few songs, you can learn some licks, but no matter what you do, you're not actually getting better because you're still missing the character you feel on all your favorite tracks. I'm about to show you 4 little tweaks you can make to the way you're already playing that bridge the gap between here and here. And when you implement them, you'll be able to articulate each note you play like a professional. But what actually is articulation? Well, as it relates to speech, the definition is the formation of clear and distinct sounds in speech. So as it relates to music, it's the formation of clear and distinct notes in our playing. So how do we play clear and distinct notes? Well, by having a huge attention to detail. I was recently teaching one of my students how to play Black Magic Woman, and it's a Santana song. You might already know Santana playing is very particular. Every note he plays is bent or vibratoed in a very specific way to make it sound how it does. And so as we're going through, he had come to the lesson, he already was like, dude, I know the first half of the song. And I was like, okay, play it. And I'm sure you've had this experience. You feel like you know a song and someone asks you to play it. You're like, well, I know I know this lick, I know this little lick. And I was like, no, let's go back through it. Let's really lock in every part of this song. And at some point in that lesson, he even said, wow, I never really thought about looking this deeply at every note that I play and making sure that everything is articulated correctly. And this is what really separates the casual guitar players from the players who sound professional, is that attention to detail on every note you play. Instead of, oh, I'm playing, these notes, it's how am I playing these notes? How am I going to make the notes sound, and how am I going to make the notes feel? This is what makes you sound like a pro. So how can we have this huge attention to detail focusing on our pull-offs? Well, in Black Magic Woman, there's a lot of times where he's coming down from a bend. I'm up on the 13th fret of the B string right now, and he comes off of the bend and pulls off onto the 10th fret of the B string. So 13 bent, about a whole step up, coming down, and then a pull off. And it sounds very gentle in the context, right? But the thing is that that gentle little sound is not really a gentle action. You actually have to pull down pretty hard to get a pull off to ring out. And I think the best way to test if you actually have this is to put your pick down and then just try and get the pull off to ring out. If you can't get the pull off to ring out without picking and having the string ring out already, you can't do a pull off, right? You're just carrying the momentum. And a lot of us think like we get our hammer-ons, which is just smack your finger down, and we think we have the pull offs because it's just that backwards. But if you do that backwards without playing anything already, you don't really get a whole lot. So when you're doing a pull off, really, really, really focus on the attention to detail of pulling hard and making it strum. It's almost as if you're thinking like you're finger picking, you're plucking a string, but you have to pluck it on the fretboard. Pluck, pluck, pluck. Really get it to ring out. Try it out. By the way, there is only one more day for you to join the giveaway for my $18,000 guitar mentorship, where we'll be working directly together to make sure you can improvise all over the neck and feel creatively free on the guitar. And that's assuming I didn't close it early because I'm only letting 30 qualified applicants enter. So if you want to win, check out the top link in the description and I'll give you all the details in there. Dude, I threw my pick too far. I think for dramatic effect though, worth, but now I got a free cable. The third small tweak you can make to your playing is thinking much more vocally. Bringing this back to Black Magic Woman, if you listen to the intro of that song and the solos inside of it, and a lot of professional players in general, their playing doesn't sound like they're even playing guitar. It sounds like they're singing the lines on the guitar. A great example of this is when you go into a bend and you start here and you're going, let's say, to here. And you push the bend up and then bring it down before going to the pitch fully. And that could sound something like this. And you can incorporate this general idea of thinking vocally into your playing by thinking about how somebody would actually sing lines. There's not only those little imperfections of wobbling, like, wah, wah, but also taking breaths, breathing in your playing is something that you have to actively think about as a player, but as a vocal line, like you're going to have to breathe at some point. So thinking about how your lines can sound more vocal is a crazy thing you can do in your playing to sound way more pro. And the last tweak we can make in our playing is incorporating pre-bends. This is when you bend to a note and then let it glide back down to the original pitch of the fret. And this happens a lot in the intro of Black Magic Woman, like it does right here. But the thing is with these pre-bends is you have to be very purposeful about playing the note correctly. I mean, if you go up for a pre-bend and you're not on the right note, like, it doesn't sound very sweet as it does when you're on that right note and you let it glide down. So how do we actually lock in bending to a note if we can't hear the note go up to pitch match it actively? Well, it's more of a muscle memory thing then, and you have to drill to lock this in. What you do is play the note you're starting on, then play the note it's bending to. Try and really internalize them into your head. And then play the note, bend up to it with a twist of your wrist, don't push with your fingers, and see how close to that pitch you can get without hearing that note bend up at all. Play, mute, bend, try and be on that same note. I think I was a little flat. Oh, actually, low key. Oh, that one was sharp. Bop, 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 bop. That was sharp again. Bop, bop. That was good. Bop, bop. Try and make them sound exactly the same. Bop, 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 bop. That one was sharp again. It's hard to get it exact, but when you drill it like that, you'll be so much more accurate. And when you go to do a pre-bend, like in that little intro lick, you can be much more confident that you're going to start on the right note, and then you can glide it back down, ringing it out the whole time. But you don't want in those times to have it bend up and then come down. You want it to start from the top and drag down. And there's a lot of very particular bends in this solo, in this intro. Like we were talking about when he does the wobbling up. There's also lines where he bends up exactly to a pitch and then starts a line on that pitch, I mean. So bending up, and right when he gets to that note, he starts a line on a different string using that pitch. So it bends into the start of the phrase. And I think in solos like this, it's actually really helpful to listen to it over and over again. Like when I was in my lesson with my student that kind of started the idea for this whole video, we spent 2 hours going over just the intro solo of this song to make sure that we had it understood and we could start to play it like Santana. Because when you're really trying to go deep on learning the articulation of your favorite players, it's not as easy as looking up the guitar tab and playing it. You can look up the guitar tab, that's great, but look it up and then learn the first line. Learn the first one phrase, and then go listen to the song. Don't listen to the Ultimate Guitar tab. It's usually trash audio. Go listen to the song, and ask yourself, does my playing sound exactly like that? And the answer will probably, for the most part, be no, but that's okay. Ask yourself why. How can I sit on this track until I sound like the player, until I feel like the guitarist from the track? That's how you get the character and the feel that you hear on the track, is listening closer section by section, locking in the feel of the first phrase exactly so you feel like the guitarist on the track, and then moving on and doing that through the entire song. And if you still haven't applied to win my $18,000 guitar mentorship where you'll get personal help for a whole year to be able to play all over the neck, you have at best 1 day left to apply if it's not closed out already. So if I was you, I'd be going to this video right now to apply to win because it's such a ridiculous thing to be giving away this many hours of my time for free. I'm not gonna curse. Shit. Dude, I'm dying.